Hi, this is Lisa Kelly, Notre Dame author and class of 1993, and you are watching the Two Irish Brothers show. Cheers and go Irish.
Going deep for Smith. Irv Smith. What a run by Smith. Look at that. Touchdown. Oh, my.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Sean Moriarty.
I'm Benjamin Walters.
And this is the Two Irish Brothers show. Now, you guys know the deal. Hit that subscribe tab if you haven't done it yet. Like or dislike the video for algorithm purposes. And make sure you hit that bell icon so you're always notified of when Ben and I do something on here. You know you want to do it, so hit it right now. Well, Texas A&M, Ben, is in the rearview mirror. We came out there with a victory. Now it's time to focus going forward. And this week we have the Northern Illinois Huskies. Yep. And I got to say this game is somewhat, I don't know if special is the right word, but let me put it to you this way. DeKalb, where the University of Northern Illinois is, it's only like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes up the road from me. And naturally, of course, growing up in Illinois, going to school here, we have a fair share of I've had a fair share of classmates go to school there. Yeah, I think we even had one actually play football there, but I could be wrong about that. So it's a little bit of a hotbed for students here in the area, and well, now my favorite college football team gets a chance to play them. But aside from the sentimental stuff and all that, let's get right into the business part of things. This part of the schedule that we're coming into, and I'm not saying that, first off, you never underestimate any opponent, Ben. You know that.
Exactly.
But let's be real. The Northern Illinois Huskies, they're not the same as, say, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, whoever.
Right.
Hell, even A&M. They're not the same kind of threat that those teams are. They're not one of the big boys.
No.
So I'm not saying underestimate them, but this game should give Notre Dame a chance to really get things going and find out what they have especially with not just the whole team, but with their offense in particular.
Yes.
Because the thing is, against A&M, we were playing against a very stout defense. I mean, there's no question about that. Their defense is good.
Yes.
Northern Illinois, they're not the same as Texas A&M.
No. We are going to polar opposites with these two teams. Last week at A&M Stadium, Kyle Field, the crowd was 107,000 people. Okay. Notre Dame Stadium seats close to 90,000. Okay. In last week's game for Northern Illinois, who took on Western Illinois, who's an FCS team, the Roughnecks.
No, the Leathernecks.
The Leathernecks.
I've had friends go there too.
The crowd size was 10,000 people. 10,000 people at NIU. So, yeah, polar opposites. This is not the NIU team that made the Orange Bowl and played Florida State years ago.
Yeah.
The BCS.
That was actually the same week that Notre Dame played in the national championship game.
But we can't take them lightly because in the past, okay, and this is one of the things that I want to see, and this is what we're going to touch on. In the past, we have played down to opponents like a Northern Illinois, i.e. Ball State, Toledo, lost to Marshall, lost to Stanford, games like that.
Tulsa back in 2010.
This will be very telling, okay? Now, it's hard to tell what Northern Illinois is because you played Western Illinois, who is an FCS opponent, and they hung 54 points up on that. So,
it's like,
is Northern Illinois that good? And do they have that high-powered of an offense? Or was this just you played an FCS team and padded your stats?
Well, and listen, I've said this numerous times over the years. You've heard me. Listen, I am more impressed with beating a top 10 team close than I am blowing out an FCS opponent by 50 or 60 points.
Right.
And even last year when we played Tennessee State, I said the same thing. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's great that we won the game. I'm never going to say otherwise, but it was Tennessee State.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of hard to pick. Oh yeah, we shredded them, we dominated them. It's like it's Tennessee State. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, the only time I would be like the opposite of the opposite feeling is if we played one of the best teams at the FCS level, like a North Dakota State or a Montana or whoever. The guys who are on top in that level. But no, I mean, seeing that Northern beat Western Illinois 54-15, that doesn't. Well, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not impressed by that.
No,
that doesn't show me how much of a threat.
There's a different level at the FBS level of play. There is. Like if you go look at the gleaming example that was Oklahoma State taking on South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits. Okay, South Dakota State hasn't lost a game in 2 seasons. Oklahoma State handily beat them. South Dakota State is the cream of the crop when it comes to FCS teams right now.
I will say the Jackrabbits, they almost beat Iowa.
So, and Oklahoma State beat them by, I think, 21 points, if I'm not mistaken. So, there's a different level. So, even if we are playing a North Dakota State or a South Dakota State or Montana, we should beat them by at least 21 points, in my opinion.
And can I add something about the Jackrabbits real quick of South Dakota State? They gave Iowa, the Hawkeyes, a run for their money. I think it was last year or the year before. I forget. But the final score of that game was Iowa 7, South Dakota State 3. And guess what? Not one touchdown was scored in that game. Think about it.
Yeah.
Iowa got 2 safeties and a field goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you make a great point, though, with Oklahoma State. They handled the Jackrabbits. They did.
And there's just a different level of play. There is. I mean, there's a reason that it is 2 different divisions. The reason that it's FCS and FBS. That's the bottom line. So I want to see us thoroughly destroy and obliterate Northern Illinois. And that's not out of meanness. That's not out of That is, okay, my expectation is this. If we are a playoff team, I don't care if we're the 12th seed or the number 1 seed, although number 1 seed is probably impossible no matter what we do. I want to see an absolute dominating performance against a Northern Illinois. Okay.
Yeah, don't leave
Look what Alabama did. Look what Georgia did. Look what Auburn did. Tennessee. Look at what these teams did against inferior opponents.
Well,
okay,
actually,
I don't want to see no last-second field goal that beats Northern Illinois, and we're on the edge of our seats thinking we're going to lose again to a team like Northern Illinois. I don't want to see any of that. I want to see Riley Leonard throw for 500 yards. I want to see him pulled by half. I want to see Jeremiah Love with 6 touchdowns like that running back out of Boise State last week. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. That's the measuring stick here. Can we propel ourselves to the top? Because if we cannot beat a Northern Illinois team by at least 21 points, then I don't think we're a playoff team.
That's a fair statement. I got to correct you though. Georgia dominated Clemson.
Okay, that's not. Sorry.
I'm just giving you a hard time. Bud.
Was there ever any doubt? Like I literally said something to somebody on Twitter. They go, "Well, Georgia should be a primetime game against Clemson," and I'm like, "Why? So we can watch Georgia dog walk Clemson and beat them by 34 points?"
It was a close game for a while.
But yeah. So anyway, let's get into Northern Illinois. What are they all about? They're led by Ethan Hampton, their starting quarterback. He went 18 for 20 last week for 328 yards and 5 touchdowns with a long of 60 yards on one of his passes. Not bad, but it's Western Illinois. It's Western Illinois. That's the thing.
We're gonna hear that. We're gonna hear that said a lot this video.
But yeah, I mean, you give him time to throw, he's going to beat you. That's the thing. Can our defense stop him? Very much so. I think our defense after what we talked about in the last video, I think our defense is up to the challenge.
Our defensive line versus Western Illinois' line. I mean, come on, let's think about it.
Yeah. He wasn't sacked once against Western Illinois. I think that will very much change in this game. I think that we'll have at least 5 sacks in this game.
Well, then let's move on to the rushing game, the rushing department. So, Ontario Brown, their leading rusher through one game, 69 yards on 8 carries. Then you have Trevon Rudolph, 67 yards on 2 carries with 1 touchdown. Jalen Poe, 7 carries, 42 yards, 1 touchdown. So that's the cream of their crop right there as far as running goes.
Yeah.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Their leading receiver is also Trevon Rudolph, 104 yards on 4 catches, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, a workhorse.
Yes, a very much workhorse. So in my opinion, he'd be their key player to focus on.
Yes. I'm sensing a Benjamin Morrison is covering him in this game. One would hope.
Let's see. Well, actually, you know what? I didn't notice this, but two of the top 3 leading receivers are both running backs.
Yeah.
Because Ontario Brown, he's there with 2 catches for 45 yards.
But it's Western Illinois.
Yes, it's Western Illinois. Grayson Barnes. This isn't even a receiver. This is a tight end. Nothing against the tight end. But he's, as far as receiving positions go, like wide receiver, tight end, he leads the way with 95 yards on 5 catches and 1 touchdown.
Taking a page out of the old school Notre Dame playbook of let's throw to the tight end a million times.
And again, it's Western Illinois.
It's Western Illinois.
Okay, here we go. We got Cam Thompson, 2 catches for 36 yards, 1 touchdown. Let's check him out. Is he a receiver? Yes, he's a receiver. Holy cow. They have a receiver that's getting involved in the action against Western. Again, it's Western Illinois. So it sounds like they really go through so far through one game, they've really depended a lot on their backfield and their tight end core to get this win.
Yeah. And if you take away their passing, they're done. That's the bottom line. You take away their passing, it's all over. And I think that our elite secondary can handle that no problem. I think that's a pretty given opportunity and statement for our defense. Now, what I want to see though, okay, other than the let's score this many points and let's, soundly come out with a victory here. No defensive mistakes, no offsides, no holding, hands to the face, that kind of thing. None of that. Okay. This is the game where it's like, okay, we're going to have a clean game. This needs to be the game. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds very fair. Let's clean it up. This is a team that we should beat, no problem. Don't underestimate them. But you play them top level.
Yeah.
You show who's dominant in this game. It's like I try not to underestimate an opponent, and I certainly don't try to disrespect an opponent, but just the differences are there, dude.
Yeah.
This is a game you have no
it's
problem.
Notre Dame Stadium, too. That's the biggest thing. It's in South Bend. It's at Notre Dame Stadium. Like, I get that there's a lot of people that are Notre Dame fans that are probably also NIU fans. I get it. Like, I get it. But Notre Dame Stadium, like, let's handle business.
Well, it's like let's also not let this be another Toledo from a few years ago where we, like you said,
Ball State did the same thing. I mean, they were in that game for far too long.
Yeah.
Way too long.
Just put them away early and show the dominance that that you have.
Yep.
So it shouldn't. This game shouldn't be close as far as I'm concerned.
No.
And I know you and I are both homers. I get that, but this is just more common sense than being a homer.
Yeah. Well, and it's like you get nervous playing someone like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. you get nervous because they're equal. They're an equal. Okay, you expect and hope to win, but you get nervous. I shouldn't be nervous about Northern Illinois. I should see that on the schedule and be like, okay, today's gonna be a fun day. We're gonna have a few beers. We're gonna watch Notre Dame dominate and have an easy performance, and we're gonna have fun. That's what I expect.
Yeah, I'm not as a fan. I'm not coming into this game all nervous and thinking like, oh man, our whole season rides on this game. No, I'm expecting to see a blowout. I'm expecting to see us clean up all these mistakes, and I expect. I'm expecting Riley Leonard to have a better game, but again, he was playing against Texas A&M's defensive backfield and their front seven, not Northern's, which again, it was Western Illinois.
Yeah, but it's that time of the video, man.
Yes, it is.
Time. I'm a gentleman. I will let you go first.
All right. Just going to get right down into things. This is the game where Notre Dame puts it all together. We see what we have. We clean up the mistakes. We just go balls to the wall on the Huskies. So I'm going to say Notre Dame 49, Northern 17. And Northern gets 10 of those points in garbage time after we've taken everybody out.
Okay, we're fairly close. We're fairly close. I say Notre Dame 55, Northern 10.
That's sound. We are in the ballpark for sure.
So
I'll be happy with either one of those. And you know what? I can't even say for sure that Northern gets 10 extra points because we've shown with our defense that we have that depth.
Yeah.
Not only talent, but depth.
That's why I said 10.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, yep, there you have it, folks. An easy dog walk for Notre Dame. Yep. So
I've got nothing else, dude. How about you?
I got nothing. Oh, actually, I do got something. And I'm hoping people come through for me. What is Northern Illinois known for food-wise? Food-wise. Yep, you heard it right. Food-wise. I want to know. Okay? Like, what's the staple of Northern Illinois? Okay? Leave it down in the comments section. I'm curious.
You could just say corn about the whole state, dude.
Well, that's a given because it's Illinois, but
well, then you get to Chicago and you have deep dish pizza and
right. That's what I'm getting at. What's Northern Illinois known for? Like, what's their thing? That's what I want to know.
I will say, since I brought up Chicago and hot dogs, one place that I definitely want to get up there and try sometime is Superdog. You ever heard of that place?
Yes, and I want to try it too. I've not been to it.
But, road trip.
Yeah.
Road trip. So with that said, everybody, I think that's all we have for you, unless, Ben, you have something else in addition to Northern Illinois food staples.
Nope, I got nothing.
All right. Well, with that said, I'm Sean Moriarty.
I'm Benjamin Walters.
This has been the Two Irish Brothers Show. And as we always say, good night, God bless, and go Irish.
Go Irish. Beat the Huskies, but not like Michael Vick in football.
Ooh.